Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Scott.
I'm John.
This is Harris. And we're married.
We asked Harris nicely to make some room for us, and he did not oblige.
He put his leg on my lap, and that's all that's happened so far.
Yeah.
So this is we are SweetTeaNoShade.
Yes, we are.
This is a knitting episode, a knitting podcast.
Knitting podcast of a knitting episode of a podcast of an episode.
This is not, we've already pointed out that we're not a dog obedience podcast. And we are not
I got nothing.
I got nothing either.
Okay, we'll edit something funny in later. Yeah,
we'll do like a voiceover.
Right.
And whatever I just said was absolutely hilarious.
Oh my god. Okay.
I was like, what? So, how's everybody doing? We are thriving in quarantine.
I don't know if thrive is the right word.
I decided to start eating healthy again this week since I'm starting to feel like crap from eating Oreos every day.
Yes.
And pretzels and everything else every day.
And more Oreos.
And so
Papa John's is going to take a little hit in
Papa
their
John's
stock.
is going to have to close because we've been keeping them in business, I think. Papa John's Pizza, for those of you who don't know. So now we are here to talk about all of our knitting adventures.
Yes. We're a little light on our objects, but we have other content.
Yes, so we've got some works in progress, some new works in progress. I have a new work. Do you have a new work in progress?
No, I have an
You just
object.
have the one work.
I have an object.
You have an object.
Yeah.
We have some acquisitions. We both have acquisitions, don't we?
Yep.
And then, what else? We've got, and then we've got our Angela Lansbury segment.
It's a double feature.
It's a double segment.
Yeah.
And then we've got comments. We'll respond to comments. Oh, don't mess with his foot. It doesn't like that. Okay, so, so why don't we get started? And I've got two.
So you go first.
So I go first.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I feel like I'm forgetting something, but okay. So, I am going to show my Patina Pullover first. I am in the body. So last time we podcast, I had pretty much just cast off for the sleeves.
Right.
And so now
You moved from tube top to crop top.
I moved from tube top to crop top. That is exactly right. So why don't you hold it up for me?
Yeah.
So basically it's just stockinette, and then I've got like tons of yarn left over. So I'm just gonna do the cuffs. I had thought about doing the cuffs in a different color.
Yeah.
But the ribbing, and so I'm just gonna do it in this color because I've got like 5 balls of yarn left or something.
Well, I'm finding that with mine too, is that I think they always, with any pattern, they probably overestimate the yardage because they don't want you getting too little.
Yeah.
So, I'm not done with mine yet, but I think I'm gonna well over what I probably bought more than I needed, which is a good place to be.
So this is a pattern by Hannah Fettig.
From Rib Magazine, Volume 1.
Rib Magazine, Volume 1, and I'm knitting it in Wool Ease from Lion Brand. Colorway is mushroom. The fiber content is like 80-something, 86% acrylic, 10% wool, and 4% other fiber, which I think we decided that the other fiber there's this little black, would you please stop? There's like a little black fuzzy in it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the technical term
Adds
is.
extra.
It's not tweed, but it's like
it's
that kind of effect.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, and so I'm really enjoying it, especially because it's stockinette, so I don't have to look at it while I knit. And so I was reading a book earlier and knitting. The only thing is I read with my Kindle. I read using a Kindle, and so it was like I have to. That's the only thing is I have to stop and hit the. I sit it in my lap, and I just have to. All right, so we just had a domestic where we had to almost murder our dog.
Harris likes when he feels he's not being paid enough attention to.
He puts her knitting in his mouth.
He puts something that he knows he should not put into his mouth. And so, now that we know it's just basically acting out.
And then you just wave a treat in his face.
And he's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, so that was just a quick update on that pattern because I've shown it like 90 times.
Yep.
So it's probably not interesting to people anymore, except for just to show the update.
Absolutely.
So, what have you got for us?
All right, so this is really exciting. This is the Marledish sweater. Let me get it out here. So, this is really exciting because I am almost to the sleeves.
To hold it? So
yeah, almost to the sleeves.
Of course, we've got the dog problem again, but...
So, other way around.
No, it doesn't look right.
So this is the front. So the way it works, again, this is knit with 3 yarns. The dark brown is Apple Fiber Studios, Macintosh, Cedar Canoe, marled with this Barocco, kind of a yellow thing. And then this gray here is Emma's Practically Perfect Sock yarn, and the colorway is Nailed It. So...
and it's fingering weight yarn.
It's fingering weight.
Held double.
Yeah, held double to marled. So I think last time I was kind of right around here. And so what you can really see now is that sort of marled stripe pattern. So right here, which is done by basically alternating between a marled row, and then another row of the yarns held singly. And so we got some comments on that where people were asked saying like, oh, shouldn't be double. And I actually reached out to the designer and he said, nope, single. And what I found, having sort of gotten through it, it doesn't make that much of a difference. I mean, definitely you can see a little bit of the difference in stitch size, but in terms of like the feel of the fabric and whatever, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
And so I even think it'll become less, when it's blocked out, I think it'll be even less. I guess if you really wanted to, when this pattern
I'm
became
sitting here looking at it and I can't tell.
Yeah,
it's
became available, like you could maybe hold the other thing double, but it's fantastic. So anyway,
who was the designer?
Corrado Lark.
Corrado Lark.
So this pattern is a test knit and it is due on the 25th.
What's today?
The 19th.
Okay.
So I am done. So the way the ribbing is, it's a split rib on the back. So you have the front rib in this regular marled color, and then the back rib is the Nailed It Simply Sock held double. And I'm going to try to put it on because I like how it looks. So I've got about, in the back rib, I have about, the pattern calls for the back rib to be a little longer than the front rib. So I've got another maybe 3/4 of an inch left on the back rib. But yeah, the length is perfect in the front, and then the back.
It's a little high in the back, but that'll block out.
It'll block out, and also there's more.
Oh, you're not done with it?
I'm not done. There's probably another inch in the back.
Oh, yeah.
So it's sort of done, knowing that you have your front hangs differently than your back, and then there's neck shaping, so the back is higher. So anyway, it is good. So I will probably finish up the back rib. I was hoping to have it back rib off and cast off before the podcast, but so anyway, I like how it's gonna fit just great. Very excited again. I think if I do a sleeve, if I finish the back rib up today and then start one of the sleeves this evening, I'll be fine.
Yeah. So, and then we've talked about this a few times, I think, but all of the intention in his pattern is that it would be the Cedar Canoe and the gold would be the same thing.
Yeah, all the way through, yeah.
But you just didn't have enough.
Cedar Canoe,
you
switched
to
the nail to the gray. And he also, he has a yarn that he recommends with a pattern, but I mean, I think the cool thing about this one, if you found, I think as long as you kept the base color consistent, you could use this could be a stash buster too.
Yeah,
so,
I'm watching the Golden, God, I keep saying the Golden Girls, the Grocery Girls. Tracy just knit a sweater where there's one base color, and then I don't remember if this was I think this actually was in the pattern. I think it's a pattern from Espace Tricot,
sure,
Montreal. But anyway, it's got stripes, but it's like there's a gray that's consistent, but then it's marled with different blues.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm exciting.
You're exciting.
I'm exciting. It's exciting because single rib is like one of my least favorite things in the world to knit. It's just so
futzy.
You can't.
It's tedious.
It's tedious, and you can't not pay attention. But anyway, nearly done. So yeah, this will be hopefully done next week. Otherwise, I'll miss my deadline.
All right, so can I go now? Now that you're all done zhuzhing? Am I allowed to go?
You can go now.
So, I have ordered a significant amount of yarn.
Do you want to show your hat?
Do you want to tell a story or do you want me to tell a story?
Yes.
So
you can start again.
So I had ordered a significant amount of yarn. And I think the stuff that I ordered from Ted Knits UK, because he shipped it right away, I think it got stuck because they weren't shipping stuff to the United States for a while. But I think that's been lifted. And then I've ordered a lot. I ordered a big order from Knit Picks, but they're rightfully so trying to do social distancing while they do the orders, pack the orders and stuff. So the orders are taking a lot longer to pack and stuff. So, however, I ordered some yarn from Harriet and Alice, who's a local yarn store to us. And it's kind of a small store, but they do a great job of packing everything in there and displaying it. It's a nice little store. And so I got that like within a couple days.
Yep.
So I got the delivery, and I've been like I've been super motivated about knitting lately because I'm doing my sweater. I did those 2 hats. I'm totally back into the knitting groove. And so I got the yarn in the mail. I immediately, literally undid the package, took a skein out, caked it up, and cast on a project with it because I was so excited. So I'm going to show that project now. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, Harris. I think this has become my official hat bag because I
got one too.
Yeah. So my mom Betty Ann, bought this for me. It's from Mr. Indigo Bags, and it came in a kit that she bought me with a matching skein of yarn, which I don't know if I've ever knit with that yarn.
Yes, you did.
So anyway, so I cast on a hat. What I did was the yarn. First of all, the yarn is wool stock from Blue Sky Fibers. Okay, that's the thing is I didn't clean out this bag, and so I've got all the ball bands from the other hats I knit. It's wool stock. What is he eating?
The pepperoni.
Oh. So it's Blue Sky Fibers, 150 grams. The colorway is October Sky, and it's kind of a dusty blue, Wedgwood blue.
You said it's very woolly wool.
Well, it's not superwash.
Okay.
It's 100% fine Highland wool. It's worsted weight. So the reason that matters is that, the reason I bring that up is because I went on Ravelry and looked for worsted weight hat patterns.
Gotcha.
Because I didn't have one in my queue, and to be honest, as we all know, yarn weights are a spectrum.
Yes.
They are not clearly defined boundaries between one and the other. So this to me is no thicker than the DK that I knit the other 2 hats.
Well, I feel like DK worsted and Aran can be pretty close.
I thought Aran was the one that was close to bulky.
Yeah, but I've seen some Aran that's not as heavy as.
Yeah. So point being, I didn't need to search for it, but anyway, it's a solid color, and it's I think it's going to show stitch definition well. So because of that, I wanted to get an interesting hat pattern, and so I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's Almagre Is that
Sure.
how I would say that?
Or Almagre.
Almagre by Chelsey Clammer. And she must be from Colorado. It says, a hat with ridges as majestic as Almagre Mountain outside of Colorado Springs.
Cool.
When my mother first saw this hat, she said it looks like mountain ranges. Well, Almagre Mountain was the first mountain she climbed, so this one is for you, Mom.
Oh, nice.
So, I don't really know anything about the designer. I just saw the pattern and liked it. And so, I'll try to insert a picture, but
I thought like chevrons on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was cables when I first saw it, and I like doing cables, and so I thought it was a cable. The pattern was created through cables, but the pattern is actually created through
twists, right?
Twists, but I think it's right twists and left twists, but it's not. So you can twist your stitch, but that's not what this is. This is an RT and an LT in the specific abbreviations of knitting and stuff like that. And it's basically where you take two stitches and you rotate or you swap where they are on your needles.
So how is it different from a single cable?
I don't know.
Okay.
It might be the same thing as a single cable.
Okay.
But you don't use a cable needle for one thing, and so like for a right twist, it's like you knit two together, but you don't pull the stitches off the needle, and you go in through the second stitch on the needle. So you have to put your needle in between the two stitches that you just knit together, and knit that second stitch, and then you slip them off.
So you don't have that weird, scary thing where you in the cable
drop the stitch and all that.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
And then a left twist is where you knit two stitches together through the back loop. Don't pull them off, and then you knit through the whatever you knit through one of them, and it rotates or swaps where they are on the needle, and so it creates a leaning pattern, almost like I would say it's about the same visibility or the same whatever as kind of like a raglan increase.
Okay.
So yeah, so I've what I'm doing, I'm modifying the pattern with a little bit, which I'm very excited about because I don't do that,
Right.
So, and this is a really basic, but the pattern calls for like a brim of like 1.5 inches or something like that, but I am gonna do like 6 inches of rib or something so that it can be rolled up.
Yep.
The other thing I might do is I might try to pick up the stitches from the cast on edge, and because I really love the double brim.
Sure.
The what's the name of that hat? Those hat pattern.
The one they did like 8,000 times.
Yeah. 3 times, but yeah.
Yeah. We said
Metropolitan hat. So with that, you have a provisional cast on, and then you knit double the length of the brim you want, fold it inside, and then knit the stitches together. I might do that.
Except in a provisional cast on, you'll just
with a provisional cast on, you pull the yarn out. You've got live stitches. This I would have to pick up the stitches.
Yeah.
Which I might or might not do. I don't know. I can't decide. But because I might just leave it and then you can just roll it up.
Right.
And it would be fine too. So I think this is probably 4.5 inches, and so I want to do probably a total of 6 inches, and then I'll
a big chunky roll.
And then I'll have it.
Nice.
So I love the wool, I love the yarn, I love the color, and I think the pattern's going to be fun because I've never done those stitches.
Right.
And it's a fun new stitch to do.
So that is it for our works in progress because I've been pretty much just knitting the sweater.
Well, I'm a sock knitting addict, but I've kind of been on hold because I wanted to get that yarn from Ted Knits UK to do the toe.
Yep.
And stuff. So
that's our objects part of the thing. We can do a couple things. We have acquisitions. We can talk about that. We can have Angela Lansbury.
Oh, we're going to talk about acquisitions next. Or we can talk about our knit-along. And
we should probably... is there a mini BA update? Or do you think we...
No. I think we can... I think Betty Ann takes up way too much of our time as it is.
I guess I want to reach out to the people who let us know they weren't alone. the people who reached out for support and knowing that they were.
We're going to start an online support group for people. I've been BA'd.
Yeah. People who've both been. Yeah. People were very glad to know that they were not the only people in the universe.
Who've been BA'd.
Yeah.
Her reach is wide and varied.
I know.
So let's talk about our knit along.
Okay.
So we're announcing a knit along.
So we took the dog out for a walk.
Just said the word. You're gonna trigger him.
He's so tired now.
We went like an hour and a half long.
Yeah,
walk.
we went a nice long stroll.
Should have just said it too.
It's like the night.
He's just like not even moving.
Yeah.
Normally he jumps up whenever you say that word.
So and we we're like, let's do a knit along. And so it
was partially prompted by...
We had a person who watched our podcast and who is an indie dyer, and they just got their shop up.
Oh, I didn't know it was a new shop.
I don't know if it was a new shop or they had, were selling through so they got their own shop up. Their name is Trilogy Yarns.
I like that name.
I do too. So yeah, she just reached out to us and said, hey, I'm putting my shop up. I want to donate some skeins to you guys. And what we've done in the past, we've gotten skeins donated like that. We've used them as kept one or two for ourselves because, but also...
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
But also, it's nice to kind of pay it forward and do a knit along. So we decided we're going to do a knit along and, the prizes will include a couple of skeins from that.
And we'll figure out that part.
The who, what, and where for.
Yeah.
But so what we've decided to do is we're going to. In the past, we've done we did a cowl, and I can't remember.
Well, so we did the cowl because you thought that sounded funny.
Let's be honest. It was hilarious.
Saying cowl. You just liked saying cowl.
Yes.
But other knit-alongs that we've done, and I'm sorry, I keep staring out the window because there's people walking by. Partially the reasons
we did the put it on your hand.
Put it on your hand, yes. Because there were specific things that we were interested in. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to
projects.
See what other people were doing along those lines. Because we did the put it on your hand because we wanted to get some cool handwear.
We did the cowl. We did the what's in your project bag. The finish it cowl.
The finish it cowl.
That was fun.
That was finish it cowl.
Yeah.
Which is not what I meant.
Always spell out your hashtags and give them to a 12-year-old before you put them anywhere. And then we did the Naked Pets cowl. So and that was all about knitting dog sweaters. So yeah, this one is about
a technique that we're both interested in.
Two techniques,
but we know nothing about them.
Right. Only the fact they have. Well, I mean, so
they have fun names.
They have fun names. So it is an intarsia and entrelac knit along.
Yes. So
yeah. So the requirement is it's going to be a project that
involves intarsia or interlock.
If you can do both, you'll get extra points.
No, you won't, because that's not.
I don't think anyone does. I think my sense of entrelac is your thing has to be all entrelac.
See, and I don't even know what interlock is.
It's really cool looking.
I mean, I'll watch YouTube videos and stuff, but
basically, I remember we got that Vogue knitting book, and we're going through it.
That one?
Yeah.
Our camera is sitting on the Vogue knitting book right now.
And I remember looking at entrelac, and I'm like, that looks real cool.
Oh, because it's okay. So I could look in there and see what it's about. That's
so, and then intarsia is a way of doing color work without stranding.
It's like color blocks.
Yeah.
Like Argyle.
Yeah, like
Argyle.
Yeah, Argyle. Most Argyle socks, I think, are interlock. And it just lets you have, you don't have...
You mean intarsia.
Intarsia. This can get very confusing.
Yes.
So, you don't have to carry the yarn, so you can have, bigger blocks of color. You can do multiple colors. It's easier to do multiple colors at once.
Have you done intarsia knitting?
I have not.
You've not done either of these?
I have not. That's why.
That's already... Okay, yeah. I didn't know if you had.
I had not. I have not. So, yeah. It's going to start May 1st. So that is once I get my sweater done.
And we're probably we're gonna do it for 3 months.
Yeah.
Because we're not in any rush and.
Well, I just like the idea you have more time to sort of pick something out, and if someone wants something like grand and enormous, they can.
Yeah.
I mean, people will do that anyway, but like if I found a shawl pattern I wanted to do, or a sweater pattern, I could, now that I know that I can do a sweater in 2 months if I, stick to it,
on it, yeah.
I can do that. So that, and also, 3 months seems like a good length of time. So yeah.
So there will be, I like to do the thing where you have prizes pulled from the Ravelry. So Ravelry, the website where, of all things knitting and crochet and fiber goodness.
Yeah.
What we've done in the past is we've done a thread in there for people to post pictures of their finished objects, and we pull a prize from that. But then I also like getting the Instagram connection, and so we also typically have pulled a prize from, or pulled a winner from people who post on their stuff on Instagram using a certain hashtag.
Right.
And so...
And we tried really hard on this walk to think of...
To make it easy.
Think of a hashtag that combined both interlock, I'm probably pronouncing it.
That was all you.
And intarsha. And
that was you.
Intralarsha. Or intralock.
I kept shooting it down every time I came up with an idea.
It didn't work. So we're gonna take a page out of RuPaul where everything it's one hashtag. So we're gonna do, what was it again?
Hashtag SweetTeaNoShade for knit along. And actually, we're gonna do cal, but it doesn't have to be knitting. It could be crochet. It could be whatever.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, I take that back. Can you do that stuff in crochet?
I don't know. Maybe if someone can.
Now that I say that might not be an option, just because that might just be a knitting specific thing.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's going to be Sweet Tea 2020 cal.
Yep. And if we have another one in 2020, we will figure that out.
Cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's our knit along.
Yeah. So we're gonna kick that off. We'll talk more about it.
Probably next week.
Yeah, but it's. Trilogy Yarns is allowing us to do this, or is giving us the prizes.
So yeah, and if you get a chance, check out their stuff. They have this one, I already know, they have one, it's called Midwest Sunset.
Oh really?
It's super cool looking.
Yeah.
So
her name's Nancy Olfs. Okay, so we think she might be in the Washington State area based on her Instagram.
Right.
What's her Instagram?
Trilogy Yarns.
Trilogy
Yarns.
So,
she's got a cat.
So yeah, so that's very exciting. We're very excited to do that. It's always fun. We try to feature, when we do these knit-alongs, we do try to show a lot of the finished objects on our podcast, on our episode, which is fun. I think not only for the people who participate in the knit along, but then if you're not participating in the knit along, you still get to see some of the stuff that people have done, and it shows you different patterns as an option. You don't have to go, if you're not somebody who spends a lot of time on Ravelry, you can get kind of connected to, or exposed to those.
And I have a whole, I always get really good ideas from. I don't think I've knit anything. I've always said I'm going to knit this, and then I don't. But it's all my cue.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of yarn and purchasing yarn, we both have acquisitions. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first, and I can do. So this is one, I think I talked about it last podcast. So I was on Instagram, which is a dangerous place to be, and this dyer, his name is Ken, and he has his called Ken Yarn. And he was just saying, I have this yarn. And he does a club. He does a sort of a yarn club. And I ordered just one of the months of it, I think April. And the yarn club is called Flora and Fauna.
That is so cool. I mean, I didn't notice there's all this green.
Yeah.
I thought it was just mainly pinks and purples.
Yeah. And so this one's called Peacock. It is...
Oh, remember we were talking about, because when I looked at it, I was like, I'm surprised there's no green in it.
Yeah.
But there is.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is a 100% superwash merino. It's DK, and yeah, it's really cool. I just literally, so he his club is like Flora Fauna, and every month he does sort of
the club is
Flora Fauna.
Okay.
So I think the other one was the other option was Oleander. So that was like a really cool heather gray, but I kind of liked this because I thought the colors were really cool. So anyway, the dyer's name is Ken Yarn. Really, really cool stuff.
I really like the feel of the yarn. What is the content?
It is 100% superwash.
Oh, did you say that already? Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't listen to you. I tune you out.
I know. So anyway,
I'm so bad at read. Well, I'm better than some.
I don't do it at all. So you're better than me. So anyway, this is exciting. Peacock. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I struggle sometimes with yarn that has this many colors in it to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think socks is an obvious thing, but I don't like to knit socks, so. Like,
and that you probably shouldn't knit socks with that because it has no nylon in it.
Right.
It has no secondary fiber to make it
That's
stronger.
never stopped me before, though.
Well, that's true.
So I recklessly knit socks. But I always have pairing it with something for a different color, like.
You could do like a hat in that.
Yeah. I'll figure something out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exciting.
What else can you do in like one skein of DK? Could you do a scarf, or you could do a cowl maybe?
Cowl, gloves would work too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be a fun cowl.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what it would be fun? So in previous podcasts, previous episodes, I've talked about the fact that I want to be that guy that wears fashion cowls.
Okay.
You could do a cowl out of that.
Or you could do like a kerchief.
And wear like but you could do like a plain t-shirt or whatever, a plain,
right.
Make like not a thick cowl, but like a cowl that kind of hangs down.
Well, and the other thing is this is plied pretty tightly, so the stitch definition would be really good on it too.
Yeah.
So you could do combine something with even like cables or something like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm really excited. Again, it's just, the dangers of going online, and I think, just ordering something I liked. So I'm really excited about it. Really pretty colors. It's a lot bluer than I thought it was. So this is, right? Okay.
And that's purple that you're pointing at, but.
Yeah, but it was a lot, when I was looking at the color originally, it was me a lot more sort of this plummy pink. Magenta, but I really like this.
I don't know, let's ask Ray from Needles at the Ready.
You know what? People who are colorblind.
You and Ray go look at your colors together and see what you come up with.
No one likes you. No one likes you at all.
Alright, keep going. Let's go. Next journey.
You're the one drawing this out by making fun of me.
I'm just trying to push you along.
Edit. Anyway, so that's that. That was very fun. So the other thing, I did a whole, Leading Men Fiber Arts is one of my favorite dyers.
I was trying to remember what the other order was.
So number one, we've seen them at shows before. They're really nice. I
met them in person.
Yeah. All of their colorways are sort of movie. Their names are movie based and stuff like that.
I thought it was theater based. Or visual media.
Yeah, because they had the TV one, the bent neck lady. So
yeah.
It's all arts. So that I'm a sucker for a well-named colorway too. So I ordered these two together, and they're the base of this, which is their DK base, is called Dramaturg, which I find delightful.
I have a friend who's a dramaturg.
Yes. So anyway, I ordered this from them. It's kind of these two colorways. This one's called Vengeance, and this one's called Poison Apple. So
I thought from back here. I thought it said Picking Apples.
Picking Apple.
No,
Poison Apple.
Even better.
So number one, those are fantastic colorway names, and number two, I just really like the colors, and I think what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to use these to finally do something that's double knit. I just think these would go really well together, and I might do it. I might do a double knit cowl or something like that. I don't know. Or this might be my snuggle.
Okay, you know what's crazy?
Finish each other's sandwiches.
Finish each other's sandwiches. That's what I was gonna say. No, those two yarns would go really well with that other one.
Really?
It's like you created a fade.
Interesting.
Sorry, I just
No.
that.
That's actually, and they're all DK. Yeah, that's a fun thought. Yeah, so yeah, that's exciting. So yeah, and what I found, I've done some double knitting before, and what I think, I've never gotten through projects. I started one, and it's the colors weren't gelling well together, or the yarns weren't gelling well together. But I think
it was the yarns because they were like different weights.
Yeah, one was it was, I picked basically because I liked the colors together and didn't think about how they would work together in double knitting. And so anyway, I'm gonna try double knitting with this. I don't know what, I don't know where, but I figure somewhere out there's a pattern that will look cool.
We'll work for that. Yeah.
And work for that.
Maybe
so
you could do intarsia or interlock.
Right. Now that I have a new
you do intarsia and interlock with that thing, with all three of them.
We'll see. I don't know. I just really, they're so squishy and fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ledium and Fiber Arts.
And they have a podcast.
They have a podcast.
What else have you got?
I feel like you're pushing me.
I want to show my yarn.
Well,
I want to show.
Boy. All right. So that was very fun. So then I also I was shopping on the same, also Ledium and Fiber Arts, and they had a set of minis that I wanted to get. And these are, it's called Spice Market. And so it's just a set of mini skeins.
They were a little different arrangement. They were from one to the other.
Yeah.
I think this is the way they're intended to be. There you go.
So anyway, so I just really liked these colors together.
They're so awesome.
They are fantastic together. Maybe I'll do the intarsia with this.
What's the fiber content on these? It's right here. It's okay, superwash merino and nylon. So because I was thinking like this would be really cool to do like socks out of, striped socks out of, or something.
Sure.
But that's not something you would do.
No, but I was So anyway, we'll see about this. I mean, after having I've never really liked minis that much, but then when I did the I'm doing that
Oh, so it's a total of 120 grams.
Yeah.
They're each 20 grams. That's cool.
Yeah. So
552 yards.
Yeah, so you could do definitely something with this. And, you know, I think after doing the shawl, a set of minis for the colors on that, it's just kind of nice having, like, you have these colors, they all work together, and they're just really cool.
Cool.
All right.
Okay,
do you want to show your yarn yet?
All right, so now I finally get to show my yarn.
Yeah.
So like I said, I went on to Harriet and Alice and bought some things. And so I bought that wool stock that I'm knitting the hat with. And so here's another skein from Emma's yarn, and it's the Practically Perfect Sock base, that same base that you're doing the Nailed It with the gray in your sweater. And it's 80% merino, 20% nylon, and this is 80s Rewind. And I specifically purchased this one because I want to knit something for Chevy Rel's knit along or make along. And I'll try to remember to put the information on the screen. Yep. She talked about it in a recent episode, and she's doing it with two other people, and I don't know all the details.
And it's like 2 months, 3 months, so you got plenty. Do you want to talk about what you're gonna make?
Well, no. I'm gonna make something for Betty Ann.
Oh.
But I'm not gonna tell her what it is.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so this is the yarn. and it's called 80s. Oh, and the knittle or the make along is 80s themed. So she said, Chevy Rell said it's like the pattern or the yarn or whatever. It just has to be 80s reference in some way.
Yeah,
so.
that's pretty awesome.
Then the other one I bought specifically because it was knitted wit, and I love knitted wit. We both do, and it's again 80/20. The colorway is Crafted Perfection. And I haven't actually opened this up to see. I just love. I mean, it's sock yarn, and I'm gonna knit socks with it. You know, because I don't have enough sock yarn. That was a joke. You were supposed to laugh.
Inside.
So here we go. So
nice.
It's just super awesome.
Yeah. So will that stripe or pool?
I don't know, to be honest.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. So just some really cool sock yarn from Knitted Wit.
Excellent.
And then I bought I already said that, the blue yarn.
The blue yarn, yeah.
So, so the other yarn that I'm waiting on is the Ted Knits I already talked about. I can't remember if I bought one or two skeins. I didn't twist that off. I can't remember if I bought one or two skeins from him. But then I also, from Knit Picks, I bought cotton yarn.
Right.
They're dishy.
You're dishy, and then you bought yarn for a sweater.
And then I bought yarn for a sweater.
Yeah.
But the dishy that I bought was specifically because I had talked in a previous episode about the fact that I wonder if you can knit dish towels. And Knit Picks specifically has a pattern and sells their yarn. There's kind of like a thing on their website about knitting dish towels.
Cool.
So I'm kind of excited for that. So
excellent.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to pivot. We're going to change tack.
Yes.
And go down into our Angela Lansbury rabbit hole. So this week we watched 2 Angela Lansbury features.
We did.
Although one of them
was not really, I mean, she was kind of...
I liked her in it though.
I liked her in it, but her part was not... It was Samson Delilah, and she was neither Samson nor Delilah.
That's true. So it was Go ahead.
Oh, her character kind of died in the first 20 minutes to give motivation to Samson to do something.
Right. So Angela Lansbury... Sorry, the movie was made in 1949.
Yep.
Angela Lansbury was Semidar, who was supposedly Delilah's older sister.
Right.
Although, in the Bible, there's a little sister that's referenced.
But not necessarily
Delilah.
Right.
And it was a Cecil B. DeMille movie, and Hedy Lamarr played Delilah.
Right.
And Angela Lansbury, who is the older sister,
was 10 years younger than her.
10 years younger than
right, which I think was so far that was the most egregious Angela Lansbury age miscasting. 3 years older than your son, yeah.
So it was obviously it was a huge hit when it came out. It was a big epic thing like Ben-Hur, one of those. Although
highest grossing film of
50.
Yeah.
It was good. I'm trying to. It's been like a week ago now.
So I think it was fine. Here's the deal. I think Delilah, Hedy Lamarr, who was Delilah, was actually quite good in it.
Yeah.
Samson.
Yeah.
He was a bit of a brick.
Well, and the thing is, there's a certain style of acting that was used at that time.
Right.
In movies like that. Even taking that into consideration.
Right. Basically, it's a style of acting that only works when you're Charlton Heston.
Sure.
I mean...
Or Hedy Lamarr.
No, because she was good. She was interesting. When she was hanging out with the George Saunders character, they were super fun.
Which one was that?
He was the evil Lord of Gaza. I know him mostly as the poisonous gossip columnist from All About Eve.
Right.
So they could tell that they were. Yeah, so when your movie's called Samson and Delilah, and Samson and Delilah have zero chemistry.
Yeah.
You're just I'm just not buying it.
No.
So,
No, but wasn't there something special about this movie as far as like, oh, well, like the big scene at the end where he pushes the columns down and the thing collapses, the temple collapses like that. There were a lot of really amazing effects for the day.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things that I thought was interesting about, like when reading about the movie after we watched it, was the fact that the guy who played Samson, what was his name, Victor Mature, he was afraid of everything. He was afraid, and Cecil B. DeMille like yelled at him for being afraid of everything. Like he was afraid of water, and he was afraid of tame lions, and he was afraid of snakes, and so he had a hard time with the movie. Thought that was kind of funny. And then so it was fun.
It was fine.
Yeah, I mean the Ten Commandments is much better.
Yes, it is. I mean, I said Hedy Lamarr was good. Angela Lansbury was fine in the role she was given. It was fine.
It was fine. Okay, so then we watched...
Today
we watched...
Actually, last night and today.
Yes, because I've got sleepy.
Yeah.
We watched Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, which I know is a lot of people's favorite, because we got a lot of feedback about Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Which is funny. I had never seen it. For some reason, it sort of skipped me as a child growing up.
And I had seen it, but I must have been really little because it was made 6 years before I was born.
Yeah, in 1971.
In 1971. So I remember seeing it, and I remember some of the songs from it, but like I didn't know I didn't remember that there were Nazis in it. I didn't remember
all good musicals have Nazis.
That's true. I didn't remember that Angela Lansbury was a witch. Like, I don't know how I thought the bed was magic, but it had nothing to do with... I just had... You know, when you see something when you're a kid and then you don't see it ever again,
right.
You have these weird memories of things. But, so, first things first. What is up with the cat?
Yeah. They
like shaved it weird and like smeared Vaseline on it or something to make it look like it was a mangy cat.
Right.
And I Googled to be like, okay, what did they do to that cat?
Right.
But I couldn't find anything online. But
Yeah.
that poor cat.
Yeah, the cat looked not great. I kept pretending it was an animatronic cat because it looked so weird.
Angela Lansbury was awesome.
She was really good in it.
She sang.
She danced.
She like jumped around with
the broom,
clothes and shoes and stuff that was...
She was game for everything.
And she wore a vaudeville like bikini thing and walked down the railroad tracks.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
God, that was weird. But yeah, she was really lovely. I kind of really enjoyed... I don't know if it was the fact it was 1971... And this is Disney doing feminism, but like, she was 46 when she made it, and her character was probably in their 40s. She was kind of doing her own little thing. The kids got, these orphan kids got dropped on her, and she had a love interest, but she was kind of like more interested in doing the witch stuff and... Correspondence course. So she was just kind of living her own good life. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a song like "I'm so sad I don't have a man in my life."
Right.
So, yeah, it was a really cute, fun movie.
And then we watched a little special afterwards that was on. Where did we watch this? Amazon Prime.
Disney Plus.
Or Disney Plus. That's right. So there's a little featurette afterwards, and. They talked about the fact that in 1996, so it was released in 71, in 1996, they restored it. Mm-hmm. They digitally remastered it or whatever, I don't know. But they added in a bunch of stuff that they had cut because the original release, they needed to be 2 hours or less so that they could premiere it during Christmas at Radio City Music Hall. So they added in scenes that, in the version we watched.
Yeah, exactly. And it was fun because the music is by the same guys who did Mary Poppins, which...
Oh my god. So
let me put it this way. If you didn't know that, you could have figured it out.
My favorite thing to do during the movie was every time a song came on, I would sing the corresponding
Mary Poppins
song over top of it, and it fit exactly.
Right.
Like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious fits exactly over...
The magical spell, substitutionary...
substitutionary
locomotion, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
There's the animated scene with the people in it and stuff like that. It was.
Although I have to say, I remembered watching that when I was a little kid. The people interacting with because that happened in Mary Poppins, but I feel like it was much more immersive in this movie, like where they went to the soccer game and all that kind of stuff. The dad from Mary Poppins was in it, and then there was this in the feature thing that we watched about it afterward. They did say that they started on Bread Knobs and Broomsticks while they waited for the woman who wrote the books for Mary Poppins to give her blessing.
Right.
And then they made Mary Poppins, and then they came back to Bread Knobs and Broomsticks.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was good.
I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it was, I mean, it was kind of funny, and I did read, and I don't know how much of this is true, but they offered the role to Julie Andrews, and she didn't want to do it, but then she's like, then she reconsidered, but at that point they'd already cast Angela Lansbury, so.
Yeah. I in my mind...
How would that not have been Mary Poppins Part 2, though? That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, and I imagine that Angela Lansbury and Julie Andrews, hang out all the time.
Yeah.
And
they hang out.
They're BFFs, and when they get in a fight, Angela Lansbury pulls out her Tonys, and Julie Andrews pulls out her Oscar, and they're like, here's the awards I have that you don't. Yeah, it was very fun. I think this is one of those films that gave me the idea that Angela Lansbury was British.
Yeah, and she is, but she was evacuated because of World War II, according to what I read. So she was 15 when they moved away from England.
Yeah.
Or Ireland or whatever.
Yeah. So speaking of which, I think the other thing we want to talk about is, so the whole premise of the film, everything, it's like the Narnia books, all these kids who get evacuated from the city to go to the countryside. And so...
I did not put the 2 and 2 together that's what the Narnia books were about.
Yeah, so they're living in their uncle's estate.
That's why they... Okay, see, I didn't put that 2 and 2 together. It probably says in the books, but I don't remember that.
Well, it's one of those things, unless you... I mean, I remember reading them as a kid, and you're just like, oh, they're sitting in their uncle's estate because...
Right, that's what I was like, maybe their parents hate them or something.
Right. So they take these 3 war orphans, and they move them basically to the closest thing to the front lines. So, where...
To Dover.
If the Nazis were going to invade England, they would go right there, which they do in the movie. So I'm like,
Yeah.
But it was, I thought it was really, really cute. They had 3 child actors that didn't want to kill the whole time, which
John has an issue with child actors.
Well, sometimes I don't like them. But yeah, it was a good movie.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
I think the scene where they're dancing with the clothes. I thought that was really fun. The whatever, the sacerdotal locomotion, whatever that was.
Substitutionary
locomotion. That was really cute, really fun.
I think my favorite part of the movie was probably poor little kid who's reading that when they go to that big mansion that Mary Poppins' the dad from Mary Poppins is squatting in, and they go to the kids' room, the nursery, and the kid gets the book about Naboombu, and he's got all the answers to everything that they need in that book, and they just don't pay attention to him.
Yes. But yeah, it was a super cute movie. I'm glad I watched it. I wish I had seen it as a kid. I think I would have really liked it as a kid.
Yeah. I really liked the Age of Not Believing song. That would have ticked me off if I were that age and Angela Lansbury was singing to me about being stuck up and not believing.
Right.
That would have made me want to bite her leg or something, but...
Yeah, it's a good thing you didn't have to put up with that.
That's true.
So
I just had to put up with Betty Ann, so...
Yeah.
Hashtag I've been BA'd.
You have been BA'd in so many ways. So yeah, the film fest continues.
Yes.
I think next week we're gonna watch Sweeney Todd, which is not a movie.
No, but it's a recorded
performance. And maybe another one. I mean, we found that we can do 2 in a week, so that's fun.
Okay, so Angela Lansbury's only been in 114 movies.
Okay.
So... Oh, she was in Mary Poppins Returns.
As the balloon lady. I feel like she's basically the bird woman for 5 seconds.
I'm sure. We haven't seen the new Mary Poppins, though. So... Oh, she's in Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, we got a lot to watch.
I think...
Oh, that's 114 movies and TV shows. Okay.
Right.
She's not been in 114 movies.
Right.
Okay, so what did we decide?
We're gonna watch... we could watch...
We're gonna watch the...
Sweeney Todd.
And then if we can fit it in, because we've got such a busy, packed schedule in quarantine. The Darby Girls?
No, the Harvey Girls.
Harvey Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited for those two.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be, unlike the other movies where she doesn't sing at all. She's singing in both of those.
Good. Yeah, she never sings in
Never sings in movies. So yeah, that was fun. So
continuing the theme of talking about TV shows and movies and things that we're watching. John, I am breaking free of the chains that John has kept me in when it comes to TV watching.
I think it's actually the opposite. But you're actually putting chains on.
Well, I'm taking the chains off me and putting them on you. How about that?
Okay.
John has this thing where he gets excited about something and it's like, oh, squirrel. And then we abandon everything that we're watching and then start watching that. And then it's squirrel. And then we start watching that and we abandon everything. We never finish anything. So, I'm not being critical. I'm just stating facts.
I feel like you're being, here's the deal.
I'm laying the blame all on you.
I feel like if it's like books.
Oh, that's what it's like. I have to finish a book if I start it.
Yeah, I'm like if a book I used to feel bad at putting on books I didn't finish. Like if I don't want to finish a book, I don't finish books anymore.
But that's not what this is about, though. That's not what this is about, because we'll go back and watch something. You're like, oh my god, why are we watching this TV show?
Yeah.
So anyway, I've told John that we are now allowed to only watch 3 things at a time. RuPaul's Drag Race, because we're in the middle of a new season. Star Trek The Next Generation, because we're watching that whole series again, because we want to watch Star Trek Picard. And then whatever the third thing is. Now, I will make allowances for some things.
Yeah, no,
I'm flexible.
We broke that rule today.
I'm a flexible jailer. Okay. I'm putting you on parole. And so our third thing right now is Tales from the Loop on Prime or Netflix?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. It's based... Well, you told me it's based on the art of this... Was a Scandinavian artist?
I'm not sure who he is, but he did this coffee table book that's called Tales... I think Scenes in the Loop? I can't remember. But it's all this sort of, like, crazy art that is, like, all these sort of, like, suburban bucolic scenes with weird background robots and stuff like that.
Yeah, so technology, but it's like rusted and looks like it's been there forever. And so the TV show
is called Tales from the Loop.
Tales from the Loop, and it's they're stories, but they're all connected. The characters are all connected, and I don't know that I would say there's really a through plot, at least at this point.
Yeah.
We've watched 4 episodes, because there are things that have happened. Significant things that have happened in the first episode or 2, but they've not really referenced them. They referenced the thing about the first episode where the girl was looking for her mom.
Yeah.
But the thing about the brother, they've not referenced since. Well, no, that's not true.
Yeah, no, everything. Because the way they do it is they have like an episode, and the first episode will be like one set of characters, and the next episode after that will take one of the sort of minor characters. And then do an episode about that.
Yeah.
And so they all sort of connect, and you'll see stuff in the background and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
but the acting is exceptional. It's got, what's the guy's name?
Jonathan Pryce.
Jonathan Pryce, who... I loved him as an actor before, and then he was the
Sparrow on
Sparrow on Game of Thrones, and it made me hate him. because of the character that he played, but I'm starting to like him again. But he's such a good actor.
Yeah, he's really good. And it's just, it's set in this weird, it's kind of like...
It's like this...
It's like Cold War retro futurism, if I were going to make up a term.
Yeah.
Because it's very Cold War setting. It's got also like brutalist architecture in it and stuff like that.
Yes, yes.
So
that we're really enjoying that. And then today we broke our rule and we started watching The White Queen, which is all about Elizabeth of York and Edward IV. Did I get that right?
Halfway.
Oh, not Elizabeth of York?
Elizabeth of York is her daughter. It's about Elizabeth Woodville.
Elizabeth Woodville.
So it's about Edward IV and his wife, Elizabeth Woodville.
Yes.
So. And
then eventually I'm sure it'll probably be about Richard III.
Yep.
So that's the mid 1600s?
No.
Early 1600s?
No. Late 1400s. Maybe even 1300s.
Oh, wait. What were we watching and the date was 1600?
We were talking about Charles II. You were listening to a podcast about Charles II.
Maybe that's what it was.
So
I'm sorry, I got my stuff mixed up. Yeah, because this is pre-Henry VIII.
Oh yeah, this is...
that's like 2 generations before Henry VIII. So okay. So anyway,
sorry, I think it's early 1400s. Would be my guess.
Yeah. So Edward IV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's really good. There's books that were written that this is based on, and then there's The White Princess,
right,
which is about
Elizabeth York, Henry VII's wife.
Okay, and then The Spanish Queen, who's about
Catherine,
Spanish Princess,
which is about Catherine
Aragon. So we're enjoying those a lot. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's very well done.
I love British
historical costume drama.
British historical costume drama, exactly.
Yay!
All right, so I think we're going to stop there. We're going to curate some comments and spend some time responding to those at probably the end of next episode. But this episode's going to end up 9 hours long if we don't cut it short or stop it at some point.
All right. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, so I hope everybody is doing well, staying safe.
And we'll see you next week.
Isn't that crazy?
All right.
Bye.